Okay guys, I highly suggest that you use a spreadsheet to do these calculations. I already made a video to show you how to do the calculations, so you have an understanding of that. So here I'm just going to use spreadsheet to do the same exact calculations that I did before. So I'm going to assume that I used 5 mils of Lugol solution, and to calculate the moles of iodine that were added, so we have to use the function there, and the molarity we said was 0.0394, and then I multiply this by the volume of Lugol, which is 5 divided by 1000. So I'm just going to click 5 here, divided by 1000, and then enter. Okay, so this is going to give me the moles of iodine that we used, and it's the same for every time because we use the same volume, right? Now we know the moles of iodine that were used. Now we have to calculate the moles of sodium thiosulfate that we used. To do that, we need to know the volume of sodium thiosulfate that was used, and it's given here, but it's given again in milliliters. So we click on the cell there, divide that by 1000 so that it's in liters, and we multiply that by the concentration of sodium thiosulfate. In our case it was 0.02, and we get the moles of sodium thiosulfate that we used. Okay, now with the moles of sodium thiosulfate that we used, we can figure out the moles of leftover iodine. According to our balanced equation, the mole ratio for iodine to sodium thiosulfate was 1 to 2. So we just divide this by 2. Divide the moles of sodium thiosulfate by 2 to get the moles of iodine. After calculating the moles of iodine, then we can calculate the moles of iodine that we used. So we have here this value, subtract the moles that were left over. Okay, and we enter that. Now for the moles of caffeine, if you remember from our equation, the moles of iodine to caffeine was 1 to 2. So if we know the moles of iodine, then we can figure out the moles of caffeine, which would be again half. Okay, now to figure out the mass, we multiply moles by molar mass. Equal moles multiplied by molar mass, 194.2, and enter. Okay, so we have to multiply this by 1000.